Taiwan, a small island off the coast of China, has become one of the main hotspots of geopolitical tension in the world. It is recognized by some as an independent nation, yet it is considered by Beijing to be one of its provinces. The island is at the center of an influence game between great powers. In recent years, Chinese military maneuvers, strategic alliances with the United States, and the intensification of nationalist rhetoric have exacerbated tensions on the brink of a potential conflict. The question arises, can Taiwan preserve its sovereignty without plunging the region into chaos? This is what we propose to explore in this video. Let's dive in. In 1662, the island experienced a significant turning point with the arrival of Zheng Qinggong, also known as Koxinga, a loyalist of the Ming dynasty, who ousted the Dutch and made Taiwan a base to resist the Qing dynasty. Both the Ming and Qing dynasties are among the greatest in Chinese history. However, the Ming dynasty's control lasted only 20 years, as in 1683, the Qing dynasty annexed Taiwan, turning it into a prefecture of Fujian province. Under the Qing, a massive influx of Chinese immigrants, mainly Hakka and Haklo, marginalized the indigenous populations. Taiwan remained under Chinese control until 1895, when China lost the First Sino-Japanese War and, by the Treaty of Shimonoseki, ceded the island to Japan, which administered it for 50 years. This period of Japanese colonization transformed the island, modernizing its infrastructure, industry, and agriculture. After Japan's defeat in 1945, Taiwan was returned to the Republic of China, led by the Kuomintang, KMT, a Chinese political party founded by Sun Yat-sen in 1912. The KMT, meaning the Chinese Nationalist Party, played a central role in 20th century Chinese history. However, Taiwan's transition generated tensions between the local population and the nationalist government. In 1947, these tensions culminated in the February 28th incident, a bloody crackdown on local protests by the KMT. 2 years later, the Chinese Civil War changed the course of history. In 1949, after the victory of the communist forces led by Mao Zedong on the Chinese mainland, the KMT, under Chiang Kai-shek, retreated to Taiwan and established an exiled government. Martial law was imposed, and Taiwan asserted itself as the Republic of China, claiming to represent all of China. In the following decades, Taiwan experienced remarkable economic growth, becoming one of the 4 Asian tigers, alongside Hong Kong, Singapore, and South Korea, thanks to rapid industrialization. Indeed, after World War II and the Chinese Civil War, Taiwan undertook a series of economic and industrial reforms that transformed its economy. These reforms included massive investments in education, infrastructure, and technology. Through these efforts, Taiwan became one of the 4 Asian tigers, known for its rapid economic growth and industrial development between the 1960s and 1990s. Taiwan's rapid industrialization was marked by the development of key sectors such as electronics, semiconductor manufacturing, and information technology. This transformation was supported by favorable government policies, foreign investments, and a skilled workforce. This development was accompanied by gradual democratization, particularly in the 1980s under Chiang Ching-kuo, the son of Chiang Kai-shek. In 1996, Lee Teng-hui became the first democratically elected president, marking a major turning point in the island's political history. However, tensions with mainland China never disappeared. The People's Republic of China views Taiwan as a secessionist province, even though it has never exercised control over the island. Meanwhile, Taiwan operates as an independent state with its own government, military, and democratic system. However, it is diplomatically recognized by only a limited number of countries due to pressure from Beijing. Today, Taiwan is a prosperous democracy and a key player in the semiconductor industry. Nonetheless, the military and diplomatic threat from China remains constant, and the island remains at the heart of global geopolitical tensions. Taiwan's military, officially known as the Armed Forces of the Republic of China, consists of 4 main branches, each playing a vital role in defending the territory against external threats, particularly from China. First, there is the Taiwanese Army, which forms the backbone of its ground defense. Its primary mission is to protect the territory from a potential invasion, particularly by securing beaches and strategic areas that could serve as entry points for enemy forces. Comprising a substantial reserve that can be mobilized in wartime, it relies on mechanized armored brigades and infantry units, as well as specialized units in artillery and air defense. Its equipment includes tanks such as the M60A3 and the CM-11 Brave Tiger, as well as a wide range of artillery systems and surface-to-air missile systems. Speaking of the CM-11 Brave Tiger, it is a main battle tank developed by Taiwan in collaboration with the American company General Dynamics. Introduced to the public in 1990, it is often referred to as a hybrid tank, combining elements from various American tank models. Next is Taiwan's Navy, which plays a crucial role in protecting its territorial waters and key maritime trade routes. The Navy is also tasked with preventing any attempt at a naval blockade or amphibious invasion. It is composed of destroyers, frigates, submarines, and missile patrol boats, adopting a strategy focused on the use of fast, stealthy ships to counter the numerical superiority of the Chinese Navy. The Churn-Kung-class and Perry-class frigates, the Hai Lung-class submarines, and missile-equipped ships with the Sung-Fong missiles illustrate this approach. The Sung-Fong 3, for example, also known as the HF-3 or Brave Wind 3, is the most advanced of this series. It was designed by the National Chung-Shan Institute of Science and Technology and entered service in 2007. It is a supersonic missile capable of destroying both land and naval targets. It can reach speeds of Mach 3 and has an operational range of 400 kilometers. Taiwan's Air Force is essential in ensuring air superiority and protecting its airspace from foreign incursions. These missions include defending against aerial attacks, monitoring frequent incursions by Chinese aircraft into Taiwan's Air Defense Identification Zone, ADIZ, and providing logistical support to the other branches of the military. Its fleet includes modern fighters such as the F-16 Fighting Falcon, the Mirage 2000 bought from France, and the indigenous IDF, Indigenous Defense Fighter. Additionally, the island has invested in drones to enhance its surveillance and strike capabilities. The Air Force also relies on advanced air defense systems such as the PAC-3 Patriot missiles and Skybow systems, which play a crucial role in defending against potential Chinese ballistic missiles. In parallel, Taiwan has developed a strategic missile force, including the Sungfeng-D, capable of striking enemy targets at medium range. Now, let's look more closely at the tensions with China. The relationship between China and Taiwan is one of the most delicate and enduring geopolitical issues in contemporary Asia, shaped by decades of conflict and uncertainty. To understand the root causes of these tensions, one must delve into a complex history marked by political, military, and diplomatic rivalries. As mentioned earlier, it all began with the Chinese Civil War between the nationalists of the Kuomintang, KMT, and the communists in 1949. After the communist victory and the establishment of the People's Republic of China, Chiang Kai-shek and his supporters fled to Taiwan, where they set up a rival government. However, Beijing does not recognize this entity and aspires to reunify the country. The following decades were marked by extreme tensions, especially during the Cold War, with the United States supporting Taiwan by signing defense agreements and stationing their fleet in the Taiwan Strait to deter a Chinese invasion. In the 1970s, however, the situation evolved. Washington officially recognized the People's Republic of China as the legitimate representative of China and ended its diplomatic recognition of Taiwan in 1979. Despite this, through the Taiwan Relations Act, the United States continued to provide military support to the island. This law governs the non-diplomatic relations between the two countries and ensures ongoing assistance while respecting the One China policy. Thus, although Beijing is recognized as the sole legitimate Chinese government, Washington remains Taiwan's primary ally and arms supplier. The 1980s marked a period of relative relaxation, with Beijing proposing a peaceful reunification based on the one country, two systems model similar to what was applied in Hong Kong and Macau. However, Taiwan rejected this offer, fearing a loss of autonomy, as seen later in Hong Kong. From the 2000s onward, the Taiwanese government distanced itself further from the idea of reunification, while a strong sense of Taiwanese identity emerged among the population. Tensions again escalated starting in 2016 with the election of Tsai Ing-wen, followed by her successor Lai Ching-te in 2024. Both leaders were accused by Beijing of deepening the cultural and political separation between the island and the mainland. In response, China has intensified its military activity in the region, particularly around Taiwan. Today, Beijing continues to leave the option of reunification by force on the table, while Taiwan multiplies its efforts to gain international recognition and strengthen its strategic alliances. Why does China insist on reclaiming Taiwan? The island occupies a key strategic position in the East China Sea, protecting several vital maritime routes for international trade. If China controlled Taiwan, it would greatly enhance its regional influence and gain easier access to the Pacific Ocean. The Taiwan Strait, a crucial maritime passage between mainland China and the island, plays an essential role. It is a vital artery for global trade, linking the semiconductor and electronics industries of East Asia to the rest of the world. A blockade of this strait by China could trigger global economic chaos, especially as Beijing also claims sovereignty over the area. It also plays out in technological and economic competition. As noted earlier, Taiwan is a key player in semiconductor production, essential for modern technology. China, heavily reliant on these components, seeks to reduce this dependence by increasing its domestic production or, more ambitiously, by taking control of Taiwan. Indeed, controlling Taiwan's semiconductor industry would provide China with a crucial technological advantage, especially since Beijing is the world's largest importer of semiconductors. In 2021, 36% of the $4 billion worth of semiconductors bought by China came from Taiwan, highlighting the island's strategic importance in the global economy. So, where does the situation stand today between the two parties? In recent months, tensions between China and Taiwan have reached a new high. At the end of September 2024, the situation worsened with the presence of Chinese aircraft around the island. In just about 30 hours, Taiwan's Ministry of Defense reported detecting 72 aircraft and 8 Chinese warships, a significant show of force by Beijing. These maneuvers followed the passage of an allied military vessel through the Taiwan Strait, including a Japanese ship, a historical first. Japan, a key ally of both Taiwan and the United States, is also a member of the Quad Alliance, which includes the US, Japan, Australia, and India, with the goal of ensuring a free and open regional order in the Indo-Pacific in response to China's growing influence. Soon after, military vessels from New Zealand, Australia, as well as ships from the US, Canada, and Germany also passed through the strait. Another point of friction has been the recent announcement of a US missile sale to Taiwan. Beijing strongly condemned this transaction, valued at $1.16 billion, which includes air defense systems, NASAMS, and 123 missiles, as well as another sale of radar systems for $828 million. These weapons, sourced from U.S. Air Force stockpiles, aim to significantly enhance Taiwan's defense capabilities. Taiwan's Ministry of Defense expressed its gratitude to the United States, emphasizing that this aid would help preserve peace and stability in the Taiwan Strait. On its side, Beijing has threatened to take all necessary measures to protect its sovereignty and territorial integrity. The U.S. maintains close relations with Taiwan not only to support its independence, but also to ensure access to advanced semiconductors, which are critical to U.S. national security. The semiconductor market, worth nearly $600 billion, is crucial for industries such as automotive and computing. Thus, Taiwan's protection holds significant strategic importance for the United States. However, relations between the U.S. and Taiwan are complex but strategically vital. While Washington does not officially recognize Taiwan as an independent state, its ties with the island remain strong in military, economic, and diplomatic fields. These relations are grounded in specific laws, such as the Taiwan Relations Act, which reflects the geopolitical importance of the island.